Good morning. It is another day. We still have these couple cars in right at the moment, but we should have some other cars showing up instead. So let's wake up and get the shop open. Hello, welcome to another exciting repair, which we get to do. It's like they hate me, I swear. So right now we have this 3-liter, we know the water pump's leaking for sure. And I want to, trying to make sure that's not cracked. So I want to pull out the water pump. We can tell it's definitely leaking from somewhere like right here. Like this is just straight up coolant coming out of it, a little weep hole. And so we're going to replace that water pump first and then check the rest of it. Beautifully clean hole. We got the water pump out. And now we're gonna pop in the new one. But that's right where it goes. The kidney of the car, I guess. What is a cross pipe? This pipe right here. In there, it goes from this head to this head, and it goes all the way across all this crap. I'm hoping I don't necessarily have to do it. So we're gonna put on this water pump, then I'm gonna vacuum test the system and see how sealed it is. Need to change your air filter in a Audi. This is what it's like. It's got this little nipple on the end that fits down in here, which you can't see. You can't see anything. Alright, so you gotta disconnect this. You can probably also undo that one too, these clamps. And then you can, this is a half turn out. That little tiny hole is what that fits on. So let's try that again. So, filter, stick it down in there. You'll feel it kinda, if you want to, you can even stick your hand in there. There we go, found the hole. Stick that down in. Then this goes, this is the tab. You lift this tab up to unclock it. Now you're going to clock it back down. It goes like this. You just got to get it kind of centered up right there. Get all those edges in. Watch the camera slowly fall over. There you go. It's locked back in. And then you can put that back on, of course, with the clamp on it. I'm taking that back off because I'm also doing plugs. But I wanted to demonstrate how to do that. And next, I guess we'll show you how to do the plugs. 3-liter supercharged Audi plugs. I like to pry the tab up from the bottom, or from the front, instead of trying to, usually you're supposed to push on this back piece, but 90% of the time that tab just breaks off. So if you pick tool it out, much less chance of breakage. And then get these bastards out. Sometimes you got to get a little extra pulley. And you need your 5/8 spark plug socket. Mine's got a boot inside. Something you can do to help keep it from flopping everywhere but allow it to still flex is put an O-ring around this, like this. And it'll help keep it from just lazying around everywhere. So you can set it up in a position and then it'll stay there. New plugs are in. 30 Newton meters is the torque spec for the plugs to cylinder head torque. Convert it to whatever unit you like. I don't care. There we go. You'll get a little bit of crushing action when the crush washer crushes, so don't freak out. Also, I just ran these in by hand, so it's the last little bit that needs to be tightened. There we go. Oh, to get this off, you just take this hose, this one hose off, unclip these, the hose out of these guides, and it comes right off. It's easy as pie. So now we're gonna re-lube our coil connectors. So I just take my pick tool, get a little bit on the end, and rub it around. Dielectric tune-up grease. This is some Permatex. You can get it from pretty much everywhere. It's a fun fact, I was looking up the torque spec for the spark plugs, and it said 5 Newton meters, and I instinctively knew that was just wrong. So I tried to find another resource to look it up at, and this was what AllData was telling me. And I went and looked in Identifix to see what they had as a torque spec, and they have some OEM guides or OEM repair manuals, and it said 5 Newton meters for this bolt that holds the wire in there, and 30 for the spark plug. So I would not accept 5 Newton meters for the spark plug torque, period. Anyway, so we'll get these bolts back in, get this back on, and we'll move over to the other side, and we'll show you how to get access to that. I got the coils out. How you get them out is, well, how I got them out was I undid this bracket after you unbolt the bottle from it, this bracket. It sits in there like this, got a little clip for this line, which barely moves. T30s, take these two out, and then it lets you move the bottle around a little bit. Supposedly, according to the manual, you're supposed to be able to just unclip that, undo this, unclip the sensor, and the bottle should just move out of your way. But the hose from the bottom here goes right to a hard line right there. So it doesn't give you a lot of movement. I don't know what the hell they're on. So this is as much movement as we got right now, and it works. So I got a little kind of extension combination to get right down in there. You can get the coils out. It's a pain in the butt. This one being the hardest to get out. You gotta like finagle the bottle around and stuff like that to get it to finally fit out of there. But with the 3-inch and 1-inch extension, for some reason we like that combination lately, you can thusly get your socket and wrench on there and try and bash your knuckles on everything nearby. So just do that. The only problem is I can't get the impact or the electric drill in here to easily whiz these out, so you just got to do it by hand the old-fashioned way. So just proceed at this rate. Get these all out. I will record when I get the coils back in, so that way you can see how I finagled them out. So I'll just go ahead and get the coils swapped. Dielectric grease them, get them into their holes. So this one is probably the easiest of the bunch, because you can kind of just finagle it out that way. Grease, and this one's the hardest, because it's like, there we go. Just kind of give the ball a little pull and it'll help drop it in. Easier in than out. There we go. Now the next hardest part, getting this bloody wires hooked up. Rah. Get them snapped in. There we go. Then you just gotta get that stuff in. Then somehow try and get a grip on something behind this. There we go. There, click. Click, and I think that was both of them actually. Make sure they're still down. And the plugs are done. So we can go ahead and put in these little retaining screws. I will admit, there is if you have really big hands, this might be extremely difficult. Like if you have real thick hands or big hands, this might be too tight. Alright, there we go. Use one finger to push down on the ratchet, use another one to hold the socket so that way it'll ratchet, because sometimes it will not, you know, ratchet because the bolt's just so loose. Alright, so here's the bracket. I got it snaked back in there. And then we just gotta finagle this thing around until we get at least one bolt in, which you want to at least start the easiest bolt. Get it started, and then for the hard one. Yeah. I'm kind of lifting up on this hose. There we go, I got it started. At least a few threads in. So no, it's not cross-threaded. Then I got this a little loose. If you want to, you can do that with this little thing will stay open, so you can do that. These are T30s, T30 Torx. So let's make sure we're going on. Snap. Get that one tightened. And there. You don't gotta go too crazy with it. Remember, this is just a little bracket holding all this stuff together. It's not like it's holding up the engine or something silly. So just get them tight. And then plug in your connector, then put your bottle over the edge, and then lastly put your T25 Torx in this hole. Ta-da! And we've successfully changed the filter and the plugs. Do you have an Audi A6 that is being a complete pain in the butt to get the thing off so you can change out the fuel latch that is either stuck closed, stuck open, somehow broken, and you need to get this off? Well, you got to get to these two little clips. These two and these two at the bottom. They're a pain in the butt to get to. So, what I ended up doing was trying to work my pick tool under here like so, and push down on them like that, which isn't too successful. Seems like you would have to somehow go through this rubber and then jam down on this. But either way, you got to get to these. And that's how you release them. I think I got it off by a magic. I'm not sure exactly what the hell I did. Maybe I got to this one just enough. Yeah, seems like I probably did. Touch that one just enough, and then I got that one. But it does a number on this rubber. So, it's a pain. The only other option is to stick your hand all the way through the trunk and literally manually release them, which I've also done that before. And as you see, I also used a little bit of masking tape to help try and protect the paint as best I could. Keep from scratching it. And that did pretty well. So, now we're going to replace this broken latch, which is two T25s, and we'll get to the new one. So a little trick you can also play if you want to is just swap over this emergency cable. It just wraps in there like that, and boom, you're done again. So it's a T20, and it's like people hate me around here. So you pretty much just put the emergency latch back in, screw it back down, pop it back in, and now it will close. Because before it wouldn't, it would just do this, it would never actually shut. So now it will shut. Shut, open, shut, open, shut, open. And theoretically the electronics just lock it. So that way if I were to, say, hit the lock button, it will prevent it from opening. All done. Yeah, this thing's like full of water. It's not a good sign.